All right, so next we're going to go to Jeffy, who is now a panelist. So you should be able to.
Excellent.
Good.
Thank you. Sorry for the delays, technical issues. I'm Mike. I'm on the Open Data team at AWS. I'm going to be talking about building communities, leveraging cloud native geospatial data on AWS. Just a warning, this is not a technical talk. More of a high level overview kind of from the perspective of a large organization that's working with an increasingly diverse set of data providers and actors who are leveraging large amounts of publicly available geospatial data on AWS. For my talk today, I just want to focus on 3 topics here. First, how the cloud is changing how we think about community geospatial data. Second, how we define what a successful community data set might look like. And third, what are some of the ways that companies like AWS can help drive further adoption of cloud data formats and data standards in the future. In thinking about this talk, about the work that we do, none of it, of course, would be possible without dedication of data providers that we work with, many of whom have presented talks in this event. And in this session, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that I'm really standing on the shoulders of giants who helped shape this program to what it is today. Through this capacity, we work with orgs that want to democratize access to data by making it available on AWS. One of the ways we do this is through a data sponsorship program, covers the cost of storage and egress throughout different AWS regions. We also leverage programs like the Amazon Sustainability Data Initiative, or ASDI, and Earth on AWS, which help to offset computational costs by providing cloud credits. From decades of best practices and shared experiences, we know that these siloed approaches to data management simply don't scale across large organizations. And one of the ways that the cloud has influenced behavior and approaches towards geospatial is by flipping the flow of how organizations work with data. In this traditional model, a user might download a subset of data to their own local compute environment. But as we shift towards a more cloud-centric model, we don't need to move data around. We can simply bring compute resources adjacent to the data. And I think by migrating towards cloud-native formats like CogXAR and Parquet, these become much more efficient. And we could think about adding something like GeoParquet and leveraging Redshift in a serverless environment, so that really demonstrates the power of the cloud. So one of the topics we spend a lot of time thinking about in our program is how we define a successful data set. What we've learned over the years is this can generally be summarized by 3 criteria. First, can it be treated as a product? Are the data valuable in among themselves? Second, is the data in a format or structure that facilitates downstream analysis? And third, is there a community around it? So visualizing this, we generally see this pattern where usage continues to grow in its raw form as it becomes increasingly processed. Then at a certain point, it starts to decline because the data is almost too specialized for that broad usage. What part of the fun of this work is finding that sweet spot where a data set sort of reaches an optimal state in terms of its accessibility and credibility as a trusted source. So I just wanted to provide a couple of quick examples. We're all pretty familiar with the Landsat Commercial Cloud Data Access Program. The USGS put their entire archive of Collection 2 Landsat imagery on AWS from level 1 to level 3 using cloud optimized GeoTIFF with STAC metadata. Howard, of course, talked about Copic. I just wanted to quickly acknowledge that this has been a great data source for the community. We continue to use it and explore greater visibility of this. And also Daylight, which some of you may not know, it is a complete, it's a distribution of OpenStreetMap data that has passed a QA and validation process to remove some of the vandalism. Anyone can download the Parquet files and load it directly into Athena to start querying Daylight data. So it's a really powerful capability. And then you could, of course, visualize the data the same way that you usually do in your own desktop environment, QGIS. And finally, I just wanted to mention that we're constantly evaluating our program to look for new approaches. These URLs are examples where we've added tags like STAC, SAR, COG to specify which data sets these are relevant for. One can imagine something like GeoParquet. If you have ideas for hosting those data sets, I'm definitely all ears. Please reach out to me at my email at jeffymj@amazon.com, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I think that's 5 minutes exactly.
Awesome, nice work, Mike. Open data is happy data, that's for sure. I subscribe to that. Nice talk. Great to hear what AWS is doing. Let's see.